welcome back to another run of Deckers. So I've decided that what I'd like to do today is try to play against Alpha Moby, because I've wanted to do that for my channel for a bit, but I'm at the point where fighting Alpha Moby vanilla is kind of tame, single player by my standards, and that's when I realized I should totally try Alpha Moby 2.0. And so that's the plan for today. I've gone ahead and made this thing to help with setup burden. And apologies in advance to people who are in the chat. I looks like my OBS does not want to play nice with chat today. I will try to keep an eye on it from time to time in case I can catch anyone. So feel free to message or whatnot. But apologies if I don't get to you timely. Okay, but the Decker setup helper is just to help setting up my stream mostly, and it in the process also helps with um, setup because I can randomize objectives from here without needing to do all of the rolls as well as the setup sequence. I don't know which Decker I'm going to play yet, so I will make that choice last, but we've got objectives, Alpha Moby 2.0, boom. Looks like we're going Hotwire, Data Overload, and Flash Flood. I'll go ahead and save this so that it updates the side pane correctly. Hotwire, data overload, and flash flood. Okay, I'm going to go and start setting up my actual table with these for the moment, but I will leave this up while I do that so that you can see these. Actually, you know what? I should be able to do this. Perfect. Okay, so Alpha Moby, because I knew I was going to fight him. Flash Flood, data overload. Just got to dig out those objectives. Was it Hotwire? Yeah. Data overload and flash flood. Alright, so that's our requirements. Because we are playing upgrade 2.0, I don't know why I have 2.1 out, 2.0, there will be an additional gold objective after the end of the game, after the final gold objective is reached. And let's go ahead and see what that is. Upgrade 2.0. It specifies that it has to be one of the extra objectives included in the box, in this case, Mother's Ghost, to the bottom of the objective deck. To win the game, you must complete the goal of that final Mother's Ghost objective card. So we'll go back to my goals and dig out that last. It looks like it's 1, 2, 3, 4, no, not 5. I don't know why Neutrino's in the wrong spot. 4 options for Mother's Ghost. So you all know how this works. 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll be doing Mother's Ghost Shell Shock Gold 2.x. I'm at a bit of an impasse here because on the one hand I want to finish setting up the stream. On the other hand, it's always, I mean, gameplay includes setup in this game, so you can't reasonably just ignore that phase. Certainly, let me start putting away some stuff and setting up the table right, because I do want you all to be able to see these things as they come up. So we'll go Alpha Moby, upgrade. Actually, you know what I could do is I could do this and slide Alpha Moby's upgrade. Everything here is build instructions, so I can cover that with this, and that way all the rules are showing at once. And then do that, and then you can see it's an upgrade. Okay, that's actually pretty sick. That's the format I'm going to use. And then we'll just put the objectives 1, 2, 3. Actually, 1, 2, then 3 and 4 down here as the ultimate objectives. Or better yet, no, we'll do the slide. We'll do the slide thing. We'll do the slide thing. So right off the bat, it's adding another cycle of gold. There is no punishment when you beat the first gold cycle, so that's a plus. But there is, unlike silver, but there is no benefit either. So we're just going to have to keep rolling when that happens. I lost my... We don't need these, actually. You know, I'll leave these out just in case. Sometimes they're useful to me. Oh, let's get the shop set up. Sorry, Mr. Decker's box. I think you've got to leave the table just for the sake of my real estate. I'll go ahead and get my showing on screen, and not terribly. I'm not actually going to run with these. I'm going to shuffle and redeal them. I'm just getting my board set up. Actually, you know what? We'll bring the market a little bit closer to me. There we go. But then we'll put these token boxes up here. Actually, I need the token boxes just as often. Yeah, fair enough. Market can stay high. Market stays high. We've got the board. We'll get our deckers. Once we pick which one we want, the rest of this is going to leave the table. And then we'll use this as our main play area, and this is our hand area. And that should work out quite nicely. Beautiful. Okay, now we can start studying what's going to happen in the game so that we can choose a decker so that we can then do our setup sequence accordingly. Quickly finish with my left strip building. I'm going to go ahead and presuppose that I'll end up playing Monty Quantum. That's why I have him preloaded, because it is my favorite decker. And as a rule of thumb, the more complex your objectives, the more access becomes an issue. But I reserve the right to change my mind as I build things. Our sequence is yellow, green, red, blue, pink. Let me flip back to the setup. Yellow, green, red, blue, pink. So I'll organize the boards in that order next, and then we'll go from there. Okay, quickly checking to see. Stream looks like it's okay. We've not dropped any frames. Audio seems good. Looks like somebody's actually watching, so hey, welcome to any viewers. And let me shoot that out there. Hey, welcome and enjoy. Smiley face. Alright. Let me also move this to where I'll be able to just glance over and see it potentially at least. Actually, that might break things. We'll just leave it where it was. But with this, I should be able to make visible. There we go. That solves that problem. Perfect. Okay. So, our objectives, and I already forgot the sequence. Go me. That's why I have it written out here. Yellow, green, red, blue, pink. Yellow, green, red, blue, pink. Well, off the bat, our objectives will start with pink all sparked up. That's fine. And then our entry space sparked up, and start of turn sparks. Instead of rolling the server die multiple times during the spawn step, roll it once, and then use that for the entire spawn step. That's actually kind of irrelevant for Alpha Moby, because he only ever makes one spark per step. Yeah. I mean, all sparks will spawn on random space at the same server. Yeah, that actually doesn't change anything. I kind of want to switch over to playing Spider or something just so that I can see what if, let it be a bit more painful. You know what? We're adding the 2.0 goals. It's fine. It's fine. We'll comp that. So it's a 2-star difficulty. First objective, have at least a green on at least 2 different spaces on each decker's home server, so 2 green programs. Place a green ghosting station anywhere with some spark movement. This is basically a freebie for Monty Quantum. It's a beautiful setup card. I couldn't have asked for a better objective. Next, have a pathway along spaces 1 to X on each of 2 different servers. These pathways must be connected by a pathway that crosses at least one other server. So I need to go from 1 to 2, and from 1 to 2, and cross between my server and another server. That's a pretty big pathway. That's a minimum of 5 pieces long. And if I succeed, I spark 1 and 3 on red and yellow. So red and yellow get mildly injured. There's also a bunch of spark movements, blue, yellow, red, green. Okay. Flash Flood. Have at least X blue on this card, where X is the number of deckers. So do this once. Have at least one blue on each decker's entry space. Okay, that's easy. Each avatar must be on their entry space. Okay, go back home when you're done. During each start of turn step, place a spark on the active decker's entry space. So, start of turn, spark myself. Start of turn, spark my entry space. 2 sparks at the start of turn. Each time the active decker starts and ends a move action on their entry space, while passing through space 6 on 3 other servers, put a blue anywhere on the network on this card. Okay, so I need to go from 6 to 6 to 6. Wait, 3 other servers. 3. So I need to go from 6 to 6 to 6 to 6 and then back home. That's a big path. But data overload makes me make a mid-sized path already from 1 to 2 to 1 to 2. So in theory, I'll have enough blues lying around to repurpose. That's kind of synergistic, honestly. And it doesn't specify there needs to be a path, actually. It's just that I have to do a move action. So I could technically use a teleporting move action or something to, to help assist with that. Finally, Mother's Ghost Shell Shock. Only for use against an upgraded SMC. Well, that is what we're doing here. Have at least one program of each decker's color on this card. Well, I'm the only decker, so 1 green on this card. Setup. Place the Mother's Ghost token on space 6 on the active decker's current server. So that's where I'm going to end Flash Flood, so immediately I'm going to get knocked out to a random spot. This token acts like a white installation of Guardian, so you need to be able to ghost to deal with it. See, this is why I knew I'd play Monty Quantum. But can only be removed by the Shell Shock action. Rules. If there are programs of the same color on each space, no, if there are programs of the same color on each space adjacent to Mother's Ghost, the active decker may perform the Shell Shock action from any space on the network. Double red, double yellow, double green, double blue, and remove 3 programs from any spaces adjacent to Mother's Ghost to destroy Mother's Ghost. When a decker removes Mother's Ghost, put a program chip of the decker's color from supplier network on this card. Then place Mother's Ghost token on space 6 of the current server. I'm having a hard time understanding this, so I'm just going to have to think it through again very, very systematically. But I'm understanding from, and can you guys see this? It's a little bit blurry on your guys' view. I'm sorry about that. Got a little bit of glare going here. Let me see if I can hold it up for you while I think it through. What I'm gathering about Mother's Ghost, and you can clearly see my setup tool is still in a beta stage here. It sounds like what they're saying is, if there are 3 programs of the same color, if there are any programs of the same color in each space adjacent to Mother's action, got it. Okay, you don't have to have 3 reds on the same square. You can have 3 reds distributed across multiple squares, or 3 greens, or 3 blues, as long as they are adjacent to Mother's Ghost. But that square that Mother's Ghost is in is going to be space 6 of the decker's home server. The setup is space 6 of the decker's home server. Place the Mother's Ghost token on space 6 of the active decker's current server. Current server, not home server. But it will be the home server because if I beat Flash Flood without losing the game, then I will have to end on my entry space. And once I end on my entry space, she enters there. But if my entry space is already surrounded by greens, or blues, or yellows or reds, I can use my very first action to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 symbols, remove whatever matches, boom, kill shot, and early termination, win the game. So the trick to winning this is going to be to make sure this ends me with at least 3 greens or 3 blues next to my home base, and nothing I need in my home base, as well as the ability to get back somehow, while dealing with the fact that all sparks produced in that phase will be white, including my self-spark white and my uh, random spark white. Okay, it's quite a game we've got set up here. We've I've made up my mind to play Monty's, so before even setting up the board, I'm gonna go ahead and do this, just so that I can start prepping with the goal of being Monty in mind, as opposed to not knowing who I'm playing. Let me put this box away. Get these Decker's tokens where they need to be. I'm going to use this Decker's chit as the Mother's Ghost for now. I don't feel particularly inclined to go and find the actual Mother's Ghost. You know what? Maybe I will. Let me get there and I'll decide. Alright, good old Monty. So, if we got yellow first, well, that's easy. It's got to be yellow first. Actually, I'm going to stack these so I have a little bit more quote-unquote screen real estate to work with. So I really am mimicking the layout that my layout uses. Our ultimate goal is going to be to go from 6 to 6 to 6 to 6. So close by sixes is a plus. Yellow and red are going to get sparked eventually, but that's a minor nuisance relative to the other things. Yellow, green, red, blue, pink. Yellow, green, red, blue, pink. Okay, just in case I have to remember the order later. There's no way to wedge that in there. That would have been beautiful. What does naturally fit in there? 6 naturally fits in there. And that puts my sixes very close to each other, actually. 2 away, 2 away, 2 away. There's no way to get a 6 here, otherwise it'd be ideal. This is still very reasonable. The network doesn't really care about open and closed spaces. If I go with this, it's 6, 6, 6, 6, I guess. Do I have to start on my home space? During each turn, each time the actor starts and ends on their entry space while passing 6 on 3 other servers. So it would have to be, this would be insufficient. It would have to be, or, so these would need to be path connected for sure. And then it would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 movement free. Or, if I extend the path even a little. Like, if these are all pathed, then I could do the whole thing in 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or something similar to that. And this actually would result in when I get knocked out of the server by Mother's Ghost. It's fairly, there's the worst case is I have a 3 distance to travel to get back to my home network. The best case scenario is I have a shorter distance. But what about the silver objective? Silver objective is pathway 1 to X, 1 to 2, 1 to 2. Have a pathway along spaces 1 to 2 of 2 different servers. These pathways must be connected by a pathway that crosses at least one other server. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, or 3 would qualify, or 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1 would qualify. These 1, 2s are very unhelpful for this goal. I could maybe see going 1, 2, 1, 2, 6, 5, because then when it's time to rearrange things for waterfalling purposes, I can kind of shift around a little, maybe. I'm not sold on this setup because I don't like the 6 positioning, but it's very mitigated just by doing this. Like, let's say that this was 6 and I had the perfect little square, right? I still am looking to do this and build a path here and here and then just do 1, 2, 3, 4 for the rest of it. So I guess I'm actually okay with this as the layout. And just double checking yellow into green, into red, into blue. into pink. Yep, it's built fair. All right, jack in and get ready to run. I guess that's all there is to that. Yeah. I kind of feel like screen-wise, maybe I should zoom in on my board just a bit more for you guys, because you guys can already see fairly easily. Oh wait, you're getting a bad glare right over here, huh? Let me adjust my lighting. See if I can fix that. I suspect that's the overhead light. Let me do that. Oh, that is much better. That is much, much better. The glare over the objectives I can't do much about, but you already have the sidebar for the objectives. Hot fixing on the job. Let me try to do this. What happens if I just crop that out to here, but then expand, and maybe even we'll shrink the market down a little bit. And then we'll just zoom way in so you guys get a much clearer view of the board, but not as great a view of the objectives. That's, I don't know. I'm gonna regret this later when I end up reviewing this video and everything was off screen. But I think this is actually a little bit better otherwise. Uh, yeah, we'll go with that. And apologies for the amateurishness. If anybody watching, feel free to comment. Psych, no one's watching. All right, 20 minutes in, we've got our board, we've got our setup. I'm gonna have to move the market down to about this level in height and shove everything in from the right. I can do that. All right. I'll move this blue mark here just so I know exactly where to expect you guys to see and where expect you guys not to see, so I don't do something stupid. Market comes down here. Don't need you. This is all the way up to here. It's barely visible. We'll move in Alpha Moby with upgrade. Y'all just have to remember how upgrades work until the gold cycle. We'll bring that out in the gold cycle when it starts to matter again. In the meantime, our active objectives, decks in order, like so. Shift the board ever so slightly. And I kind of want the board just a teeny bit more north. And that should do it. That should do it. Let's get ready to rumble. Alright, don't need that anymore. These are a little too prominent for my taste, so I'm going to set these reminder cards off to the side. If I need them, I can grab them. But at this point, I have played at least 20 games of Deckers. So I'm at the point where I instinctively know the rules and only have to double check my knowledge sometimes. Actually, you know what? Maybe it'll be better here. Nah. We'll leave it here, and we'll leave future goals up here. But current goal, honestly, it's fine as it is. I don't know. I'm overthinking it. I'm gonna try to play slightly faster than I normally would, because I do feel like if I spend 20-30 minutes a turn, or sorry, 20-30 minutes a cycle, which I very easily can, we're gonna end up being here for a couple hours, and I honestly don't think it's necessary. I'm only playing Alpha Moby. I'm not playing one of the more aggressive, dangerous, and will end your game in 5 moves mobs. I do think that Alpha Moby sparking is going to be tricky, and let me make sure the special rules for the upgrade don't apply until the last cycle. Instead of rolling the server die multiple times during the spawn step, only roll it once. Use that result during the entire spawn step. In gold cycles, sparks do extra things. It doesn't mention an extra spark though, so I don't know where I got that from. Maybe maybe that was a gold specific thing on the 2.0 objectives or 2.x objectives. like the shell shock objective. Alrighty. Game start. Alpha Moby, so that means a spark on your home space, a spark on all of pink, an extra spark at the start of your turn. You know, Sparksville. Properly shuffled up. Oh, wow. What an interesting opener. This one in particular, Reset Spark gives green an offensive tool that they usually lack early on, which is very helpful. And the ability to spread intentional sparks combined with ghosting tends to be very powerful. Oh wait, that's not the one I wanted. Actually, that is. I'm gonna want to go with 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 blues to start the game. 5 minus 1, so 4. And we'll go ahead and spark pink, as is tradition. God, I have to eventually saddle up and play against pink, because it's a whole different ball game. And I'm going to go ahead and get the start of turn spark ready. You do not roll sparks on your first turn, but you do start of turn effects, so that would still happen. So that should be all set. Actually, I'll put these off to the side for now, because I do not, strictly speaking, need them. Can you guys see the market, or is it cut off? Looks a little cut off. Let me do this for just slightly better visibility. There we go. And I'll put these behind it so I don't accidentally forget the edge of my screen. And that way you guys can see all the way to the end. And that is perfect. Alrighty. Okay. You guys can see down here though, that's fine, right? So 2, 3, 4, 5. Jack in and get ready to run. Looks like we're opening with a handful of green and yellow, which is unfortunate because I really wanted to buy that red early. Not ruling out the possibility, mind you, just here's the start of turn spark. Oh, shoot, forgot to build the path. Forget that I looked at anything. La 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 la. It's pretty obvious that the path is going to be 1, 2, 1, 2 right now, because, or 1, 2, 3, 1 and leaving that one blank. Ooh, or better yet, leave myself the option of getting in, but the easiest one to build is going to be the one in my home server. Yeah, that's probably correct. That's probably correct. This presets me up for being able to go 1, 2 through a different server, 1, 2. And then I just need to make one blue. So gets me ahead on the silver objective. Lets me focus on just getting stronger in phase 1. All right, there we are at. Screen looks good. Still recording. Can you see me? Okay, good. All right. We've got our hand of 3. Let's do this. 3, 4, 5. Yes. How are we gonna do this? Well, right off the bat, there aren't a lot of straight line upgrades. We can't afford to end our turn in this space, because if we do, we'll spark us and get guardianed. On your space, either remove all sparks or replace a guardian with a spark. Yeah, that's what we need. If we can somehow buy the triple red immediately, remove everything from our home base, we're halfway home. It takes 3 reds, so if I go yellow wild, blue wild, and then a single symbol, convert those 3 symbols down to wild, 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 wild buys it. I also probably want to get Viral Splash, so this would be the most convenient way to buy Viral Splash. Do I want to get Neural Splash? On the one hand, yes, because Neural Splash would let me immediately complete this objective, and I don't think that it's going to hurt long term. On the other hand, no, because my silver and my initial gold objectives are all about placing blues, and green and blue share a supply. So if I spread 9 greens around the network, I have get rid of them in order to finish the blue objectives. On the other hand, it does help me build ghosting stations, which is basically Monty's whole way of winning, and you better believe I intend to ghost my way in for the shell shock action. So, after all of that talking, I think the correct answer is going to be to leave the Neural Splash for next turn and try to buy... Ooh, there is another out. I could buy the read request intercept now for blue plus wild, and then shuffle 1, 2, 3 into my deck, and try to hit any red at all. There are 10 cards, of which 3 are red. If I do that... if I do that and it works, great. If I do that and I miss, how bad am I? At that point, I will have had to draw a bunch of undesirable... Well, no, at that point, if it's the worst case scenario, I just walk away. But what am I considering? I'm considering saving this one to buy the distribute viruses. Distribute play sparks, distribute reds. And I'm considering spending 1, 2, 3 in the hopes of trying to hit specifically all of my wild cards are, well, 3 of my 5 wild cards are here. So there's a red wild card that doesn't really matter. There is a additional green plus wild card that I want to hit. So that's 1 out. And then there's single red, double red, and stacked reds, all of which are good. Yeah, that sounds great, honestly, especially because none of these cards are singletons, and I do want to burn a singleton instead of a double or a wild if possible. So, burn this RFG to buy the read request intercept. Go ahead and shuffle these 3, or not shuffle, place these 3 into the deck and draw 1, 2, 3 new ones. And just for my own memory, this does not belong here. I'm gonna have to shuffle that back in. Go a card count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, hopefully that just got included by mistake. I'm gonna leave these 3 face up so that I know what they are, because I do have perfect information on the 3 that I put on the bottom of the deck. And I should have 1 more card. You know, all of my gambles paid off beautifully. We've got double red, single red. We could use that to buy the reset spark right now. Unfortunately, that does mean there are no more reds waiting for me in the deck later. I could use this to buy this, but I don't think that's wise. So we'll spend red, yellow, and buy this. We have to remove this from the game, of course. So we've removed 2 wilds from the game. At least one of them was done neutral, the other was not. We'll spend... I don't think that Viral Splash is prudent early. So I'm going to spend double red plus Viral Splash, RFG the double red. Keep the wild in play is the idea here. To buy the reset spark. Go ahead and reset the spark counter to 0. And now we are definitely looking a lot stronger. We could technically do a lot of things. We're very low on reds in this deck, so... So I'll tell you what I'm thinking. I'm thinking if I buy this and use this to buy this, right? Spend it, I can place the 3 that I need to win the game with right away. I could even put 1 here and then go and retrieve it with this movement option, potentially. But the real big picture is, do I need that many greens up front? I think I do. I really want to be able to build a ghosting station on my home network, and I'll get one for free after the hot wire is complete. So the idea would be put the same sparks I just got rid of back, and then move away from my home space so that I get alpha Mobied on a new space, and then save this in reserve, planning to deal with sparks some other way later. What is the spark movement going to look like at the end of this phase? Blue, green, yellow, red. So it'll be green down. So 6 will move to 5. I, I kind of like this. It's a little aggressive, but I've already cleared the opening objective, so I feel like I can afford to be a bit aggressive. Um, Actually, I don't want to RFG my wilds, so I'm going to spend the wild and the blue, so green and blue, and RFG the single blue, discard this to buy this. Then I'm going to use the Neural Splash to drop 2 sparks on my home location, and 3 greens anywhere that's open on the network. And of course, I'm going to choose the most obvious spots. 1, 2, 3. Finally, I can't afford to stay here anymore, so I will pick up my green and leave. I could technically stay here with that green, or leave the green here and plan to push those away, but there's nowhere I really want to push them either, so this seems better. And that's the turn. Turn 1, complete. Oh, right. This card wasn't supposed to be here, so we're just going to get a quick market shuffle. Embarrassing to put away wrong card. I'll have to keep a close eye to make sure all of the cards coming out of my basic deck have that green man on them. The count is correct, so as long as they're all green, we should be fine. Alright, turn 1 out of, what, 12? Because there's 4 cycles? Yeah, turn 1 out of 12 complete. I kind of like our opening position. If we were multiplayer, I would feel a little bit hesitant for putting this many sparks into play. But single player, I feel like we can get away with it. 6 moving down to 5 should be fine as long as I don't put any sparks on 5 that I would have to worry about glomming. 3, 4, 5. Although I need to read the sparks rotation rules one more time. If I recall correctly, you can't form guardians during the spark rotation. And if that is true, or is that just, yeah, and if that's true, then maybe I do intentionally let a spark stay on 5 and prevent the rotation. All right, what do we got? We've got 2 for 2 and 1 for 1 on reds, so nothing exciting there. We've got Replicant Jar, which is huge because remember we're going to be making a giant blue connected network. And remember that to beat the Shell Shock, you need 3 same side thingamabobs on a space. So being able to flip blues to greens and greens to blues could help me set up kill combos either way. 3, 4, 5. So we're definitely going to be looking to buy that if possible, though it's not a top priority. It's very helpful. Also, converting yellows to wilds is always a plus. Converting anything to wilds is a plus. Well, we didn't get that. We got greens. Self-spark, start the turn. This is a very, very poor hand. Our next hand, we're going to have double green, double yellow, and blue plus wild. So we should have no problem buying this next turn. I'm going to go ahead and burn this to upgrade to this. It does have an on execute swap a spark with a program. So I could very reasonably swap this with, oh, actually that's perfect. We're going to use the decoy duck to execute, swap the spaces of a program with a spark. So I'll give you a spark, and I'll take a program. Do I want this one or this one? I actually think I want this one. I'll tell you why. This one has the potential to do that and build the pathway I like. I don't know if I'm going to want to or not, but that's a possibility. Putting the green over here, I don't know what it really buys me yet. We'll use a single green action to upgrade this into an installation. Incidentally, we are currently losing the objective game because the objective is to have 2 separate greens and we only have 1. But it'll be worth it in the long run, I'm sure. go ahead and spend these to buy a green program. We'll ghost our action to 5 to better spread it around the network. And we'll hold that in reserve. And that's the end of the turn. So now we're winning officially. Refresh the market. 2 for 2er, that's not great. Our unknown cards were the single red and the single green, yeah. But we also got everything that we were hoping we'd have, so that's good. Self-sparkage, less good. Okay. Right off the bat, remember our goal is to buy the replicant char. So double yellow plus I kind of want to buy the carbon clone as well, so I'm thinking ahead to how that's possible. We're going to spend the double yellow, burn from game to buy the carbon clone. Then we'll spend the read request intercept for 2 wilds, sorry, for a wild and a blue, double it to 2 wilds and 2 blues, and now I only need 1 more symbol to be able to, whatchamacallit, go, to go, to buy the replicant jar. Because I'll convert the 2 blues into, plus something into a 3rd wild. So what do I want to RFG? I guess I want to RFG a push. I don't really want a single green that bad. So I'll take this, RFG that, discard those, and replicant jar is mine, baby! Now what do we do? Now we're in really good shape. We could make a red, move it over, and let it SMC fight. We could push things. Honestly, it's tempting to just push 1, 2, 3, 4, and just go 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Like that. Or something similar. If I were to go, will there be a pink spark rotation? There will not. If I were to go 1, 2, 3, something like that, and then 4, with the understanding that this will alpha Moby its way down to me, and that's totally fine because I can deal with it. That's tempting. But also, realistically, I'm set up for ghosting, so I'm not that worried about these sparks. I feel like I didn't put them back right. This guy was swapped into here. This guy was doubled on purpose. And I self-sparked, so this one should be here. That's right. I'm kind of tempted to leave the sparks, honestly, and just focus on building my board state. I mean, do I actually need more? What I could do in terms of building a board state, I could make a yellow over here. That's easy. I could make a red over here. I think what's going to happen in the next phase is the pathway is going to be easy to build, so I'll be immediately on the warpath. And I want to avoid putting double sparks in dangerous places, ideally. I said I'd go faster this game, and immediately I started thinking too much. It's just that kind of game, man. I think what we do, to be perfectly honest, is we bunch these into doubles and doubles. If either of them becomes a guardian, it's no big deal, because I have the ability to deconvert a guardian, ghost style, onto myself, as long as I don't also roll the 1 in, well, I guess the 2 in 36 that it sparks the exact space that they're on. And that frees up more real estate to work on reds. So I guess I am thinking in terms of building reds so that I can start fighting these guys. I don't have the cards for it, though. I could turn these 3 into a wild. No, it takes more than 1 wild. I would need 3 symbols of 1 color to make a red. So it's basically Replicant Jar plus 1 makes red, or blue. I could make a blue over here. It seems slow, but that's actually probably just the correct answer. I could make a red and then trigger a fight with that red. But I can't make a red in a space that needs a fight because of the spark rule. So, safe and easy. Go ahead and make me a blue over here. And you guys might be wondering why I'm not buying this. I don't think the +2 effect is strong enough to give up the digging effect. Being able to pay this and dig to the next in the market feels more valuable to me, so I'm actually keeping it. And I'm very curious if by endgame I regret that decision. I would buy that, but I can't afford it. So we've made the blue. Now we'll use the double push to get things out of the way. So push you here, ideal. And I don't want this, but I want this even less. So that's fine. I guess this, maybe, to minimize, to remove the possibility of being damaged when the glomming happens. One of these is likely to become a guardian if I do nothing for 3 turns, but I don't think that'll happen. Fizzle this. We'll use that on an infect action on my current square. Oh, look, oh no, we can't initiate an infect without... Actually, yeah, I don't know the rule. What can I do if I can't initiate an action? I can't upload, I can't move, I can't shift ghost, install, infect. I could upgrade, but I don't want to. I assume it's possible to just choose to fizzle in actions. That's what I'm doing. Alright. First things first, attack phase. Nothing, 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 nothing. Second, I'm pretty sure restock happens here. So restock. Digital tattoo. Oh my god, they're all 4 things that I'm very happy to see stronger cards than, so perfect. Next, check for objectives. Success. Place a green installation anywhere on the network. Well, this is obvious. We're definitely going to put it somewhere on the network. But where? I could put it here to be able to ghost my action here, but at the end of the game, I don't need to manipulate that. I need to put pathway materials down here, ideally. So this gives me a lot more control over pathway materials. And I'd like to have the ability to start fighting this off long term. So maybe controlling this network matters. This is a 6 as well, so 6, 5, 5 is 3 spaces that are going to need help. This gets me 2, this gets me 3. I already have 4 and 5 and 6. So at this point, these are the only 2 squares. Am I doing this wrong? I'm doing this wrong. If I put it here, I can't ghost to these 2. If I put it here, I can't ghost to these 2. At some point, does Alpha Moby start to specifically attack the pink server? I don't think so. We're going to get a yellow and red spark, but not a pink. If all 3 pink sparks end up on... If all 3 random sparks end up on pink, is the only way a guardian could form by accident. So I'm tempted to do this. It's safely out of the way, so I don't have to worry about anything urgently getting to it. It is unfortunately far away, so if I do set up an installation for red, it won't help, so that's not great. Maybe here? The odds of setting up a red installation here or here is pretty dang high. Because I'm going to get my spread 3 reds, and then I'm going to want to glom them up somewhere. So spread 3 reds here, move them together, build an installation like that, maybe? Nope. Nope, 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 nope. You'd be the candidate for that because you have a pathway, but your pathway doesn't lead into here. This pathway is completely landlocked, so it's not helpful for this. I don't have a good answer. The closest I have to a good answer is that when the mother shell shocks me to a different server, I'm going to want to be able to get back to my home server. This helps. So putting a ghosting station here gives even closer access to spaces I wouldn't otherwise be able to reach. Or here. Yeah. There's no wrong answers, and I'm happy with this one. Okay, that is done. Finally, refresh phase. Oh no, move sparks, move sparks. Green goes down, as predicted. Blue are none, yellow are none, red is none. So we did well. First objective is complete. We have upgraded 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 cards in our first pass. That's actually quite intense. That's probably why our board state has such a gaping hole in our offensive capability. 2, 3, 4. Refresh the market. Do not love what I'm seeing up front, but emit EMP exactly when I needed it. Okay, that's great. There's definitely emit EMP potential all over this board, especially when I get done sparking myself. There are no special rules or setups for the data overload phase, merely a challenge that I have to have a big path. The 1-2-1-2-3 pathway is built, and it does not require these systems must be connected by a pathway that crosses at least one other server, yes, and it does not require me to stand on it or use it. So all I have to focus on this session is preserving that path and not dying. And I am only now realizing the big oversight, which actually I can still fix. This would allow me to protect these spaces without having to go there. So the only space then that I would worry about would be this one. In other words, if I roll sparks on red, I have no means of reaching red to deal with them yet. This gives me a means of dealing with it. So yeah, this is the setup I prefer. And no new information revealed. So it's technically I know the market. Yeah, but I didn't use the market to make this decision. It's fine. Let's allow it. All right, 5 cards. Let's get started. We are officially in phase 2. So we're gonna need a random spark. It'll be red 5. All the nasty places to put a spark, but not before I first get my own spark. And it looks like I have the right tools to buy stuff from the market today, so we shall do so. Begin with RFG the double blue in favor of a blue with a bonus. Relocate a program from anywhere on the network to your space. That's good. I'm going to read request intercept the decoy duck and the single green push. Well, actually, I don't intend to move this turn, do I? Depends what I roll. But yeah, so I'm going to put these on the bottom. And 1, 2, 3 new cards. We got the viral splash, which is actually what I was hoping I would get, so that's perfect. I don't know why or how I'm going to use it, but I know I'm going to use it this turn. I think we ghost our action to here, to viral splash. Where's my discard? I don't have one yet. Viral splash on 6. Bases are loaded, by the way. We have not done a good job keeping this network clear. You know what? I take it back. I'm going to ghost my action to here. Somewhere nice and safe and far away. Yeah. And I'll use that to put some reds where I like them. I'll put one on myself for sure. It has to be on the edge of the network, so can't be on the open spaces. It has to be on the closed space or closed space. It has to be on the open spaces. Um, I think one here, and then one more here. You'll see why. Then I'm going to use the Pied Piper to move two, pick up, carry. Actually, I kind of want to stay where I am. I think I'll ghost the movement of two to do this. And now the hard part. How do I get everything I want at once? Um, because I want to emit EMP really badly here. But I also want to build a kill station first. Technically, this movement of the ghost ended on a network thing, so I could move it to here if I prefer. I think that might be better. So we'll move all of these here with that zero movement at the end of the two movement. And do we also want to go back and bring that over? The ghost can technically move it even off network if I'm so inclined, but I think it's better on network. No, you're fine there. You're fine there. Bring it over because the day might come that I want to stand on here as a ghosting station. Um, Now what? It feels like I'm just shy of what I need. Yep, we're gonna resequence this turn, guys. I'm gonna go back to before the movement. Keep the spawn though, the spawn is fine. From here, what we're gonna do is buy the immediate EMP right away. I've keep building up and relying on things going well for later, and that's eventually gonna catch up to me. Here I get to make the call of if I think I can win 3v1 or not. I think I can. I might just roll badly, lose my red, and lose all my momentum if I play the emit EMP though. Once I'm done with that, if I use these, I'll definitely win the fight. And then I move, and then I build my killbot station. Oh yeah, that's fine. Okay, emit EMP for two, so infect action on ghosted into this space, I guess. But double the symbols, so it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 versus 2. But that's potentially going to clear these sparks. Why not just do it here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 versus 1, and then I can clear that spark. Yeah, 5 versus 1. That's the plan. I am a risk-averse person. And I rolled well enough that I could have won with anything. So 6 and 5, so it's 11 versus like 3. Kill you. I will also take the two adjacent sparks from here instead of from 5. I just feel better about this move. Do I? Do I actually want that? Because now that I think about it for 2 seconds, sparks over here are going to be closer to where I'm going to make new reds. So if I take these adjacent ones instead, right? And then I move carrying to here. And then do I want to go over here so that I can also start fighting pink? Nah, man, be good. Then I slam down a thing, and oh, I don't have my Monty Quantum card out. I guess you guys don't need it because you can see them on the screen, but I just want to make sure that I can ghost from it only green programs, not from installations. That is correct. Um, oh, if that's correct, then what we're gonna do is actually we could assemble it over here, and that gives me ghost access to every square. Nah, don't get greedy. It's fine. We're gonna upgrade these three to an installation and end our turn. Uh, right where we're at, I have this so I can still do my mass ghosting protocol, from anywhere to anywhere. All right, Monty, what's it gonna be? Let's get our next market set up. 1, 2. We do have root access, which lets me add symbols to a current card, and unfortunately I didn't stack the bottom of my deck when I RRI'd. If I had, I would have put this on the bottom. I forgot that I have to play to those outs, so I'm gonna take that one on the chin. I deserve that. Future, always remember, if you can stack the bottom of your deck, stack it. Alright. Very good stuff here. Self-spark before the turn starts. And you guys might have noticed that not upgraded, I've changed around these chits. These are the basic cardboard chits the game comes with. I went ahead and added a little Mod Podge to give them a little bit of weight, heft, and like a little biconvex glow. I think it's cool. Not everybody has to like my ideas. Spark me. 2 red. Okay, thank God, not a guardian. Not great though. I mean, it's interrupting our path. Our path is now threatened. We have to get ready to go to war. Okay, what are we gonna do? We don't need more greens, so I can use this as an ordinary blue-green. In fact, thinking ahead, when am I ever going to be interested in creating more greens? I'm not I'm not ever going to be like I don't want them, but they aren't a priority for the rest of the game. I could very realistically spend this to buy a new card. Discard this card to add a star, flip something anywhere on the network to its other side. Not super important. The only thing in the purchasing area that actually actively interests me right now is the root access. I can get that for blue, green, red, and a wild, and then RFG the singleton red. That is one possible move. Then I can make 3 reds on my current square and get ready for war. I will get a movement card next turn, but I'm not guaranteed to get a combat card next turn. And I will need a combat card to clear up at least these 2 sparks. Well, at least one of them. I've used the double blue already. And what is RFG'd? Double blue is RFG'd, single blue is RFG'd. All my basic blues are gone. So there is a high probability that the only movement I get next turn is also the same card that I'm going to need long term for its wild properties. I might not have an attack coming up is what I'm saying. I think this is a better safe than sorry scenario. If I reserve these to make 3 and fight on my current square, right, just to make sure that I've gotten ahead of the menace, and then I use these to buy the root access, and then I use the triple wild of the root access to make even more reds. I can then move those more reds next turn and rely on the SMC attack phase to clear up the mess. It's actually not a terrible plan. It just sounds like a terrible plan, but it's not actually a terrible plan. Do I want this at all? I mean, I can ghost it to anywhere and put greens everywhere, but I already have two very reliable, useful ghosting installations. Third phase, when I'm trying to deploy this over here, is going to be a nightmare. I don't even know how I'm going to begin to complete the waterfall phase. Saying that out loud makes me realize it's actually completely true. Hmm. See, if I put greens along here and then move them over and redeploy them, they can be flipped into blues. Ooh, wait a second. What if I don't do this triangle? What if I do this triangle? Push, push, got a V here, add one blue over here eventually. Yeah, if this is my waterfall plan, just ignoring pink entirely, it's a bigger path, but it takes a lot less steps. And it adds a lot more weight to defending the server, and the red is well positioned for that defense. That is infinitely more likely than trying to build a path through here with this. God, see, this is the thing about this game. It makes you pivot mid-game so that you don't just... If you get stuck into one way of thinking, you will lose. And then you'll wonder why you got unlucky. You weren't unlucky, you were just fossilized. Alright. Make 3 reds. We need to get some meat on this board, and it's high time it happened. Blue, green, yellow, red. All of these add up to that. And we're gonna actually swap the neural splash. No. It's okay. RFG this. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. We'll buy this straight up. Now, we could do. Yeah, we're just gonna play it slow here. One attack, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 versus 1. No need to roll it because even with a 1 to 6 disparity, I still win. But we'll roll it for fun. 14 to 6, GG. And now keep this one in reserve for sure. Final countdown. Self spark, random spark, red 6. Oh my god, if that had been self. No, we're good, we're good. We can deal with guardians. It's fine. Okay, last hand of the round. 1, 2, 3, 4. We do get an extra wild, thank god. 4, 5. Lots of pushing power. What are we going to do with it? Well, I do want to buy the digital tattoo here, I think. We'll RFG this for the tattoo. And we'll, we've got a lot of stuff. We can swap spark locations with program locations. That's interesting. I'm going to swap this spark location. Is that a right move? Right now I have to do 2 attack actions to clear my road. This reduces it to 1. I have no reds. So yeah, this is correct. We're going to do this, and we're actually going to move a red over here. I feel like that's stronger because I want to keep my ghosting power intact. So that's the decoy duck swapper. We could go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 versus 2. That's a very profitable attack. We'll use the digital tattoo. to buy one of these wilds, which we can use as a red. This one removes installations in favor of programs, and this one flips anywhere. We'll take a flip anywhere. There's more potential value for that in theory. I think we should just initiate this attack. 7 versus 2, it's a no-brainer. We should win this, right? It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 versus 2. Can lose, but shouldn't. It's 8. Sorry, it's 10 to 7. That's a win. These guys are dead, 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 dead. And then I'm gonna double push to move these guys here. And use this bad boy to drop 3 new reds. In case you don't know what I'm doing strategically because you are not as familiar with the game, I'm setting myself up for the SMC attack phase to roll against all of these stray sparks. We need to build a road from here to here to here to here, so I'm thinking about that objective now. And I'm going to spend 1, 2, 3 here to ghost my action and make a blue over here, potentially. Alternatively, I could use the double push to reposition some blues, but these are all necessary for my current win condition. Alternatively, I could use the movement to move these out here and deal with sparks, but my understanding is that I'm not dealing with any explosions this turn. Green, yellow, red, blue, red up. Actually, we will get a pretty nasty spark explosion here, potentially. I think this is where I have to dig out the rulebook. I got this wrong once before. What happens during spark movements if you would form a guardian? Intel phase, spark phase, spark movements, program capturing guardian sparks, chain explosions, explosions, general rules. It's not on page 10, so let's check later in the book. I think there was something on like 18 about it. No, alright. Sparks 10. Transformation, stacking limit. Not seeing it. Let's see, appendix, standard actions, SMC attack phase, move sparks. Move each spark from the lowest number space, 1 space up or down. Each arrow indicates. Allow move sparks 1 at a time. If it would move onto a space with a guardian, skip over it to the next space instead of triggering an explosion. So it does make guardians, but it doesn't explode the guardians it makes, which is terrible for me because yeah. So okay, so forget making this. We need to deal with this Golem. If they come here and blow this up, it will blow up my thing, and I can't abide that. So Ghost in action. Move 1, 2, 3 reds, 1 space, and 2 spaces, which hopefully beats that. If all of those lose and this gets Guardian and I lose it, hey, 3 bad rolls in a row, man. At that point, I'll deal with the random. Go ahead and make me 1 more red just so I have something to show for the end of my turn. I don't want to move from where I'm at, certainly. All right, that's the phase. Restock the market. We lose an item ship. I'm very happy to do that because those are all not great trades. Check on my progress. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 upgraded cards at the end of phase 2. That's very good. And let me make sure that I didn't accidentally put something that doesn't belong here. Now we're good. Okay, silver check. Have a path. Oh, no. SMC attack phase. Nothing. Ooh, we've got a fight. Straight numbers? No, I have a +1 from the adjacency. Nope, Sparks win. Sparks might win. 3 versus 5. Yep, they win again. Well, that's not great. Over here. 9 versus 6, we win. That's not how I wanted that to go, but, you know, fickle fortune. That happens sometimes. Next, we've got um, check for victory conditions, resolve objectives. Have a pathway along spaces 1 to x, 1 to 2, where x is Deckers plus 1. On each of 2 different servers. They must be connected by a pathway that crosses at least one other server. Victory. All right. A success gives me 1 spark on each space 1 and 3 of red and yellow. I forgot to check that. That's not great. 1, 3 of red, and 1, 3 of yellow. How are we doing on sparks, by the way? Oh, we have many, many sparks. Too numerous to count. That's good. So we're not about to lose on guardians and spark counts. Although I believe in the gold phase, for the rest of the game, they're going to be white sparks, and I do not have tools for that. All right, spark movements. Green goes up, 3 moves to 4. Yellow moves up. Sorry, this happens. Red moves up, so 1 moves to 2. That was unexpected. And blue moves up. There are none in blue. And if that was the whole game, if all we had to do was flash flood, we were very far ahead right now. But unfortunately, we now have to deal with the mother effect. The mother effect, or sorry, the upgrade effect. The upgrade effect of all sparks are white sparks is going to be extremely punishing. And I'm actually very interested in seeing how to play it. This is one of my first games playing white sparks, despite having played like 20 games. I'm not saying I've never had a white spark, just they rarely are a factor. And in now, it's going to be 2 white sparks per turn, 1 on my space. I'm not even sure how I'm going to cope with that. This I'm going to wipe for sure because, ugh. And we'll see what we dig to instead. 1, that's not great. 2, hey, something to deal with white sparks. 3, hey, something to deal with sparks in general. And white sparks. 4, well, we got some good tools in that opener. Let's see if we have anything to buy them with. Maybe. Yes. I thought I got rid of that. I must have kept it in the end. Burned something else. Okay. First things first, spark on my home space. I will let it absorb the red because I can make those the most easily. Next, spark on yellow 5. Okay. Okay. I do need to make sure I start and end on 6 for this sleigh ride. Fair enough. We don't have a lot of time to pull this off, is what I'm realizing now. I think we made the right call saving this. I'm going to ghost my action to 4 red. Oh, I can't. Oh, man. Sorry, what I was going to do was ghost to here and put down 2 sparks and then immediately kill them. But what occurs to me is the sparks will be white, which is going to be much harder to beat. The idea of putting 3 greens here, here, and here is that I can then turn them into 3 blues, and then just like that, I have this huge road right to 6. I could also go here, here, which essentially finishes this triangle. So there's options, but I don't know what to do, man. I feel like I have to take some risks. I could make a white guardian here, but then I expose myself to spark explosion risks. Where are white sparks the least impactful? If I put them here, I don't have enough red to deal with this. This is way too much red needed. Emit EMP is a very good tool, but I can't make use of it in the current configuration. And getting to a better configuration is going to take time that I don't have while building this road. The good news is, as soon as we enter the next phase, I don't have to worry too much. I'll have blue all over the place. It should be easy to get one shell shock off. Like, for example, if we were doing shell shock right now, I'd spend one card to get into range, and then I would have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, I don't know. I might not have enough. 2 yellows, 2 greens, 2 reds, 2 blues. Yeah, I would have had enough. Okay, well, without thinking about it, we absolutely need to buy the emit EMP. So we're gonna remove this single red from the game to get the emit EMP in play. And it's looking more and more like being able to restore stolen sparks is valuable. So we're gonna spend 1, 2, 3 green as a wild and the actual wild as a wild to buy. Sorry, that's an RFG. To buy this. Then we will do the ghost creation action to put 2 white sparks here, which will steal my 2 red sparks. Actually, we'll do it over here. Or even here? The idea is going to be we attack here to kill those, and then we get those guys by adjacency with the EMP. Yeah. In the meantime, of course, we get a green, and a green. That's what the whole point of doing this was. I'm going to create 2 more red sparks on my current location. And that's the turn. So 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Thank God we have a lot of red. I really needed red this turn and I got it. Self-spark with white. Steals another. I think I still has to not be green because I need to be able to ghost in order to have a prayer of this game. I don't need the blue though, do I? Yeah, but I'm going to want to redeploy it, so we'll do that. And then spark me anywhere but my own space. Self 1. Okay, maybe not anywhere. That kills my road. This is very challenging. Okay. We're going to have to do a couple things at once. Next turn, we are guaranteed. Actually, I already know the contents of my deck, so I should be able to just look at these, but wait, why are there 6 cards here? 6 and 6 is 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Son of a gun. We messed up the last phase and forgot to return something. My guess is it was the it was this thing that we spawned with. I have no idea. Okay, well, we will punish our current hand to make up for it, I guess. I'm gonna go out on a limb and presume it was this and put that out of the game. I genuinely don't know how to fix that particular bug, so whoops. I'll look back in the video and see where I messed up. For what it's worth, I doubt it is a game-winning difference. I've been re-strategizing literally every single turn. If we emit EMP where we are right now, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 versus 2. We probably win. If we do win, we get rid of 1, 2, 3 sparks. That's a good move. Then we can make more reds so that we have fodder again. And then we can... Oh, but then we lose our ability here, which was what we were going for. These ones are already fed. So if we make 2 reds now and declare an ordinary attack, that's still 7 versus 2, so we probably win. Wait, we don't need to make the reds. No, we do, because we're going to need them later. Then we move those reds over to here, and we reset and then we emit EMP with them to clear 1, 2, 3, 4 more sparks. That's really good. I don't know if we have all the symbols for everything I just said, but I'm assuming somehow we do. There's nothing there I want to buy right this minute. RRI is... I could buy the RRI with an RRI, and then I could buy another RRI with an RRI and make an infinite loop of purchases. I do have root access plus read request intercept, so I have the ability to stack the bottom of the deck on purpose, and then add those exact symbols to my action. I don't think Carbon Clone is particularly useful this turn or next turn. If I draw the Replicant Jar, this would be an amazing turn to use it. So I will read request intercept with the Carbon Clone, keep as much red as possible for fighting purposes, and draw exactly 2 more cards from my... Why do I have 6 cards in my deck? Oh, yeah, because one of these was supposed to be out of game. And then draw 2 cards to replace these. I'm going to make sure that read request intercepts on the bottom. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We are correct. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Something is wrong here. Okay, there are 5 here. That's correct. There are 1, 2, 3, 4 here. With me not having played a card, there should have been 5. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 here. But I did play 5, and then I removed one of them from the game because my deck was miscounted. So this is now 4, 6, and 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so we're good now. 9 plus 6 is 15. Okay. Housekeeping. We got... Oh no, we got the other emit EMP. That's definitely not what we wanted at this point. Because I can definitely use 1 EMP. I don't know if I can definitely use 2, and I've lost mobility to do it. I think I made another mistake. The upgrade ability, is it for all sparks or for all spawn sparks? All blacks placed during this step, the spawn step, are instead placed as whites. So the self sparks don't actually come in as white. I made this way harder than it had to be. And the 2 sparks that I created when I ghosted should not have been white either. I'm not going to go back and fix it, right? That was an error not in my favor, but from now on we'll play it straight. So now it becomes easy. We're going to emit EMP on our current location. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 versus 2. If successful, we get another spark, so that's very reasonable. It does not look successful. Let's find out. I said 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 versus 2. That 7 plus 2 is 9 versus 5 plus 2 is 7. Nope, we made it. Oh, thank God. Nastiness. Then we'll make some more reds. Enough to fill up on our current location. We're going to reveal to add symbols and add 2 blue to our next action. And then we're going to purchase read request intercept. Oh my god, this is so broken. For 1, 2 blue plus 3, 3, and whatnot, and there we go. Now I have another movement. And I can use that to dig for 1 more to try to get the replicant jar this time. And if I get the replicant jar, I can use the root access to transport these to here and EMP with them. That sounds really good. So we'll do that. I'm going to read request intercept for 1. Actually, we'll even put away the reset spark because I don't think I need it this turn necessarily. 2. Okay, help me out. What is the turn sequence again? Get the yellow card, get something else. Use this or the something else to move these sparks over here, emit EMP, and that's the win. Wait, I'm overthinking this. Remove all sparks on a space, ghost to here, boom. These are just gone. There's no reason to be any fancier than that. Yeah, that's true. Let's just do that. Our pathway does not look solid. We need to flip this one. We need to get this over here, get this over here, and get this over here. And still find 2 movement. We have a guaranteed 2 movement coming up. Do I have enough to do that? If I spend this for a triple shift, I can go shift myself, shift myself, shift myself. That looks good, actually. Yeah, then what? Uh, we can set up for the final phase, I guess, by... I can either keep this in reserve so I have more movement, which is probably correct. There are no double sparks anywhere. Yeah, I guess that's fine. I'm going to ghost and emit EMP action to 2 just to try to debulk the number of sparks on the network. It's not a great move, but I don't mind losing it either. I lost it 3 to 6. It's all of the risky plays I've made have backfired because that's 6 versus 7. But I actually don't mind because I'm up in general by a lot. Okay, last hand. Self-spark. Not a spawn step, so it does not come in white. And then spawn step spark. This is a guaranteed white because nastiness. 5. Thank God. Nice and far away. Okay. Big movements, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 movement available to me without reckoning the carbon clone. So we're in great shape. First step, we're gonna buy the adrenaline surge. Second step, we're gonna clone the adrenaline surge to create 2 more greens. And I am going to put them wherever I like that I can ghost to and create from. Here seems reasonable. Next, replicant jaw. Blue. You're already blue. Blue, blue, blue. Oh my god, it's beautiful. Or should I say beautiful? I think I want to leave it this way because when the mother spark comes here, no, I need 1 more blue. So that when mother spark comes here and kills this, there's adequate blues elsewhere. Actually, I think I'll be able to get away with it because I have enough movement commands. Alright, replicant chart complete, and now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 movement. First things first, for 0, we go from starting... Oh, wait, does the movement action have to start here? Explicitly? Each time the active decker starts and ends a move action. Yep, so this is not actually going to be okay. We're going to have to spend the first 2 movements just getting in position. I do have 2 movement to do it with, though, so maybe I do something fancier. Maybe I rewire the pathway with my 2 movements. If I go all the way to here for 0, and then pick this up and move here for 1, now it's a 0 cost pathway everywhere. That's actually pretty slick. I kind of like that a lot. And then we'll go ahead and move this green to here, just to make it easier to hit ghosting abilities from more locations. And this green to here. Anything else I need to do? Yeah, we'll spread around the reds some. That looks much better to me as a configuration. Okay, and now, starting my action from here for 2 movements, I'm going to go 0, 6 to 6 to 6 to 6 to 6 to 6 and 6, waterfall, or flash flood. During that time, what happens? What do I now do? Have at least X blue on this card where X is the number of deckers, have at least 1 blue on each decker's entry space, move action, put 1 from the network. So I have to lose a blue from my network. That's the price. Which one do I want to lose? If I have to lose 1, I'd lose this one. I'm the least interested in going back to yellow. But flash flood accomplished. And I still have 2 movement left, right? So I'm gonna pick this up and use 1 movement. No. Yeah, pick this up, use 1 movement to come here. I still have a movement available to me, but I don't need to end. Each avatar must be on their entry space, and that is a goal. Rats. Okay, then I'll come back here, and I will bring with me this. No, anything I put here dies. I don't want to do that. Hmm. Before I started this whole sleigh ride from here, I made one extra red. There. Now I've used everything. Okay, that's it. That's the flash flood. Flash flood accomplished. Oh wait, no, no, no. First the fights. So we're gonna go with SMC fight on. Are there any spaces that need a fight? Yes. The combat square. Starting here, 6 and 5 on the dice is 7, 11 versus 7. Boom. That's an easy, easy win for us. Next, over here, they win actually, 6 to 2 on the dice. Next, we win 3 to 2 on the dice. Thank God, we kept at least one blue alive. And I think that's everywhere that has a fight available. Final phase, Mother's Ghost, Shell Shock. It's a play against an upgraded SFC, then continue with the gold cycle. No spark movements, mind you. So that's an interesting property. Setup. Place the Mother's Ghost token. You know what? Where's my box? I'm gonna dig that sucker out. I think I've earned this. These are the tokens that I generally have not gotten around to using. Wait, no, these are not the tokens. These are the players that don't get used as often. I should have a separate one for the tokens. Yeah, here we go. Packet version of the game, but Mother's Ghost in the machine. The mother has awakened. Also, this gets wiped, and we go on to the next phase. And we get 4 more cards. 2, 3, 4. Always got to keep your market fresh. Oh, we got the cowboy. Yes. All that stuff would have been great if we got it earlier. Now I don't know if it's actually that useful. We'll find out. Mother joins me as a white guardian, and as we all know, when you have a white guardian in the same place as a decker, ejected. So I am ejected from the space to a random spot on the network, such as red 1. Hey, that's about as good as I could have hoped for. In the meantime, shuffle up my deck. We do have 3 blues adjacent to Mother. What are the conditions? Rules. If there are programs of the same color on each face adjacent to Mother's Ghost, the active decker may perform the shell shock action from any space on the network. I don't need to get there first. Pay 8 symbols, remove the 3 programs, shell shock the Mother. When a Mother's Ghost is removed, put 1 program of that decker's color from supply onto this card, then place the Mother's Ghost on space 6 of that decker's server. Okie dokie. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We got the Reset Spark and the Sabotage up front. I think we have every color of the rainbow, so that's very convenient as long as we spark well. Self-spark on 1, and alt-sparking on 6 blue, which is fairly irrelevant to my current strategy. That one will come in on the spawn phase, so it has to eat something, and I will let it eat the path. Alright. I cannot ghost actions from where I am, but I don't need to ghost to do the spark reset, so double red, double blue, double green, double yellow, with your powers combined, shell shocked! Wait, 1, 2, 3 blues are adjacent, right? Are they removed? Yes, they are. The Mother's Ghost is destroyed. And we get to add, it says any of the 5 colors, so I'm going to add a pink one from supply to the Mother's Ghost card. But wait, technically speaking, oh, it says of each Decker's color. Well, never mind, I'll go with green then, so I win the game. So technically I could win right here and right now, but let's make it interesting. Let's try to do it again. Uh, in order to make that work, these are all discarded, of course. I'm going to begin with, I can't ghost my action. I can't move from where I am. So I'm actually just going to stay put and draw 5 more cards. I'll let the sparks happen. So 1 at my feet, threatening to make another guardian, and 1 at random, which is 4 yellow. Okay, very good. There we go. Now we're talking. I can move away from my current space. With 2 movement, I could go 1, or is actually 0. So pick this up, 1, come back here, pick this up, bring it over here. That's good enough for me. And then double yellow, double green, double red, double yellow, double green, double red, and actually I have a better play then. We could buy the digital tattoo somehow? No. I could spend yellow, green, red, green, and blue to buy the copycat. Yeah. Yellow, red, green, and blue. Oh wait, these are both advanced. So we'll just do this and this, actually. No, these are not advanced. This is basic. To buy the copycat. And then I could use the copycat to buy the console cowboy. There will be no second cycles. There's no need to save for better. Then I can spend 1, 2, 3, 4 carbon clone 5, 6, 7, 8 double red, double green, double yellow, double blue. Charge it up my laser. Bam! Shell shocked. Twice. Because it's so much fun to do. These 3 reds are eliminated. And that is the game twice. And at this point, just getting greedy, you can drop down another 3 reds. And self-spark, and just looking ahead at my hand, I have enough to do a 3rd shell shock. So, triple kill. But that's the mother. I'm going to read the success. Congratulations, Deckers. You have successfully hacked the SMC's network and completed your mission. Mother has temporarily bugged out, so ground ops are grabbing the opportunity to liberate a few more Sapporo citizens. You jack out of the network, and the fluorescence of the Sushikino bar where you were rigged slowly emerges back into your consciousness as a backdrop to your tag team, cheering as they disconnect your DNI, slap you on the back. Great job. Victory tastes sweet. You win. That was... Oh, hang on. Let's see if I can figure out how to flip this thing real quick. There we go. That was my first time playing against Mother. And, sure, I should say the Mother objectives, the upgraded SMCs. I think it went pretty well. There was definitely a few rules flubs, but I do think those hurt me more than they helped me. And the fact that I was able to get a triple kill in the last phase suggests to me that it was nothing that was that I wouldn't have been able to manage. Very fun. It's amazing just how much more intimidating white sparks are than black sparks. They really do feel like they're double as strong, unless you have creative solutions, which you can get. Uh, love the upgrade system. This did feel like a like some of the harder runs I've had against Glom, and that would be a 2-star SMC, so 1 plus 1 is 2. Yep, that tracks. I hope you all enjoy this. I know I did. Definitely please leave comments and whatnot, and let me know if you enjoyed the vid, because if I don't know what y'all like me make and I make whatever I like. I do like Deckers, though, so you can expect more of that too. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you guys next time.